さあバックサイドマックツイスト
Your first run, you're able to just build right. Kokubo now.
Masahiro Kakumo! We got the award! Thank you. Oh man, I don't even have to look. Hustle!